Hello and a very good morning to you. It's Tuesday. It's the 1st of December, which means, you know what this means here? You have permission to get festive. Whatever it is you want to do to get festive, you now have the chance to do this. So hopefully you guys out there, you're having a wonderful morning and or evening, depending which part of the world we're on. And the reason why we say which part of the world we're on, but I've got a very special guest on this morning. You're going to enjoy this. It's going to be very interactive, very lively, very intriguing. I mean, absolutely fascinating. We're going all the way over to the other side of the world, to Australia, to interview a wonderful lady called Irene Bryan. Now, I say Irene because I used to Irene, but some people say Irene. But because we're in Spain, we always call everybody Irene or Irene. Irene. Yes, whatever. Anyway, let's do this. Be back soon. So, some very interesting questions I think you're going to find and discover that you want to ask this morning or this evening. We say hello to a few people who are joining us already. And the reason why I'm saying here, guys, what's it going to be like with questions? Because the topic today is like karmic lovers. Have you found your karmic lover? Yes, you'll notice that sometimes the tone will go all romantic and ooh. Discussion. Okay, enough of that nonsense. Anyway, right, yes. So we're discussing though everything about past lives, karmic lovers, and we'll be looking into ties, karmic ties. And there's so much to talk about this morning. It's going to be an absolutely fascinating show. So good morning to everybody. Val says good morning, everyone. Delia, all the way from Australia, says good morning. No, that's France, isn't it? Good morning in France. He's like, g'day, mate. Yeah, g'day. And Sandra says, hi there, everyone. As does Maria Dolores Mompo. And buenos dias, senorita. Buenos dias. So there we go. See, Spanish, easy. Anyway, and Delia says, hello. Sherry says, hello. Good morning, everyone. And Susanna says, hi, Phil. And Michael Bryan says, great topic. I love the dog. Love the dog. That's fascinating. We're animal lovers too. And look at you, like you're all chatting with each other already. There's Delia and Michael chatting already. And this is what it's all about. As much as we chat with you guys, you can see the links there that go down and the chat boxes. You can all chat with each other, providing you're watching this. Anyway, so time to make sure in the Cafe Clairvoyance that you have your coffee or your tea, whatever beverage it is. But in the cafe, you could just sit back. You could just relax. If it's the morning time, you can just unwind. You could just stop whatever it is you're doing. If you're at work, just take some time off. Just put the phone down. Switch on your computer or your TV and just watch this going on. If it's in the evening, just put on your pipe and smoke your slippers. Something's gone wrong there. Anyway, but yes, so you could just unwind, relax, and enjoy this show because we're going to be talking some really interesting stuff. And yes, everybody's saying, you're just social lot. Look at you all. Anyway, okay. Hi, I've managed to catch you. We've been caught. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, there we go. Katrina Louise, good morning to you. Good evening, wherever you are in the world. So guys, please let us know where you're coming in from so we can know whether to say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. But I think it's about time, really. Enough of the gossip. I think I need to go and bring on this fabulous lady who I'm going to be interviewing this morning and sharing the show with. I have a lot of interest in this because I work in hypnosis and psychotherapy, and but we're going to be talking Irene's style of past lives. Katrina says she's in Australia. Katrina, fantastic, yeah, and lovely. Good evening to you. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to go and find out if my dear lady Irene is coming through. I'm just going to find out if she's out there. Hello, Irene, are you there? Are you there? Just. There's a doorbell. That's what we're looking for. So, after 3, 1, 2, 3, give a big round of applause to the fabulous Irene. Hello, good morning, good evening. How are you?
Good morning. I am just brilliant. It's such a pleasure to be on the show. I just can't wait to get to all the hot topics and
Neither
go
can
deep
I.
and deep. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, that's
uh,
good. That's good. We like doing that.
yeah.
Like doing that. Yes. Brilliant. Okay. Yeah. So some of you saying here, oh, you're catching it live for a change. It's fabulous. Good. Okay. We've loads of you guys on this morning, so in this evening. So it's lovely to see you. Okay. Right. So get straight into topics here because I think here we've got quite an engaging session. I think people are going to want to ask a lot of questions as we go through. We've already got some of your pre-questions from the show already, guys. So thank you very much for writing them in. And we'll also try to answer the questions, guys. You guys are going to go through the show. So, Irene, tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from?
So Phil, I'm from Australia, and I'm one of I'm the seventh of 12 children,
What?
and
12?
yeah, I'm number seven of 12 children.
It's
Yeah,
like your
that's
mother. Your
correct.
mother should run a school in full up.
Yeah, we had a hockey team. Yeah,
Hockey
a
team.
whole hockey team.
I've never had such a big family. I thought that was in Victorian times. I mean, my God, that's amazing. Oh
No,
dear.
it was wonderful. And I'm a writer. I have a psychology background, and
Okay.
I've studied a lot of the alternative therapies, you could say, and also occult literature. But none of that stood a candle actually until I actually remembered many of my own past lives. So for me, you learn through experience, and experience is the greatest teacher.
Okay. So you remember your past lives. Okay. Let's have
Almost.
a little discussion about that, guys. I mean, how many of you guys
Okay.
out there remember your past lives? The interesting question. So what
Yeah.
happened? Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, yeah, so it's really good, Phil. Because my story is a lot like many others, and sometimes we don't want to remember. Trauma can block memories. See,
Okay.
and when we incarnate on this planet, we have a forget. We forget, and because we forget, sometimes we can remember, and sometimes, like in your hypnotherapy, it bleeds through. Even
Yes.
if people are not so much believing in it or subscribing to it or know much about it, the fact is that we are still all affected by the phenomenon of existing through time and space, and also out of time and space, if that's the right way to put it.
I love this. In time and space and out of time and space. We are out there. We are out there, guys.
So,
This is getting so interesting. I think we need one of these. Wow. Well, okay, right. So because I work in hypnosis and I like taking people into past life regression to recall a past life. And it's
mhm.
interesting here, I totally agree with you, that we go through times in this life where we have that deja vu. I've been here
Yeah.
before. I've met this person before. Something
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yes. Is this a conscious thing you experience like on a daily basis, or do you have to go into meditation to experience this?
Well, actually, it's quite a for real phenomenon, because we hold emotional memory in our DNA and in our
Yeah,
body, and our
yeah,
body is connected to the subconscious.
yes.
So whether you're consciously aware of things or not, your body has its own memory, and it is encoded with your DNA, not only from your past lives, but also your ancestors. And so karma is like the universal recording system that basically is like, it's the very thing that your soul's evolution has always been directed by your own soul free will. so
I love
so
this.
and what is the point of karma? I believe that karma, the point of karma is unity. Actually, it's finding unity within the self, and it's finding the divine masculine and the divine feminine within your one unit of consciousness, because that is the balance within duality, and we do live in a reality of duality. So.
Now, that is interesting, a reality of duality, because we're having a little bit of a discussion that when the universe was made, we're talking about twins. And
Yes.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about that? Because that was a fascinating subject.
Yes. So the twin flame phenomenon,
Yeah.
it is the universe's way of giving us the ultimate chance to evolve to our highest potential.
Okay.
And how that happens is the way I describe it, say in the book. So I'm writing a book about this stuff, and it's a bit more in detail. But how I describe it is at the moment that God sought to understand Himself, a whole realm of a reality was created of physical manifestations of a reflection of life, and at the
Okay.
same time, souls were created, and they were created in a reality of duality,
Okay.
which meant that it's like the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
And that's how karma was formed, because karma is cause and effect.
Right.
I call it the cause and effect strategy.
Okay. So there's duality already, isn't there? Cause and effect.
Yes, that's right. And that's just a part of being manifested in the physical. See?
Okay.
So we have the non-physical, and then we have the physical. But for both of them to go together, there already is this reflection of duality. And that's why yin and yang is so a powerful concept,
Yeah.
because it really does show that everything exists on a continuum. And within the continuum, there are extreme opposites, but they attract each other. They repel each other. The best way to understand it is electricity is a male energy. It's an
Yeah.
action orientated element, and then the feminine is the magnetic, the receptive side. So in every life form, in every human being, and in every action that you do, there is a yin and a yang. There is an active and a receptive component to creating and living, so to speak.
That's it's interesting you're saying this, because this is like when we talk about physics, we talk about kinetic and potential energy. One is
Exactly.
storing energy and one is releasing it.
Yes, and both components are needed in order for creation and life and humans and everything else actually to exist. It's not one is negative and one is positive, although we see it as negative and positive. Uh, both components are needed. So it's about this holistic, unifying unity that comes with healing your karma, your past lives, and understanding what took you from the unity that you were. And that is why we encounter karmic ties and karmic lovers.
No,
Yeah.
this is absolutely fascinating. I think this is going to be one of those sorts of shows you want to go on and on and on. Now, this book, how many hundreds of pages is going on for? Because it sounds
Well,
amazing.
actually, I'm quite clear and concise, and I do phrase things in a way that hopefully is easy for anyone at any position or any stage of their life, or even any cultural background or religion, can read the information and then um, what's the word, resonate
Yes.
with their own life story, their own I in their own life, which is the self. And in understanding the self better, you will always liberate more and more of your potential.
This is so interesting. And actually saying this is Sandra Park says, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Maria Helmsley says, makes sense. Makes sense. And
Yeah.
well, good morning to Mike. He was on the show the other day. Absolutely hilarious show. Very good morning to you, sir. And the producer is saying, hello, Mike, along with everything else. So, great. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Now, it's interesting here because it's interesting that we do this without even thinking about it in some respects, but you're bringing out this conscious awareness of duality that we need to understand and relate in life. It's like, I guess you could say here, if you do something that's positive, it's because you're aware of what's negative.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
Well,
There could be
it's
one way of looking at it. Yep.
it could be one way of looking at it for
Yeah.
sure, Phil. For sure. I think it's nice to look at positive and negative from a perspective that we don't actually know sometimes what will be positive or negative in our life, and
Okay.
sometimes our judgment on it, sometimes our judgment on whether something is positive or negative actually affects the flow of kind of like our good karma,
Yep.
because we can get stuck in our judgments of what's right and wrong, and I kind of steer away from any of the black and whites.
Well, that's interesting,
Um,
isn't it? Because that's duality as well, black and white. It's almost
it
like
is.
daytime and nighttime. You got duality
Yeah,
there. It's like we can't stay awake all day. Well, you could do. Some of you out there raving probably do, but I
we
could
do.
name a few like Val and maybe Michael and maybe even Delia. Yes, yeah, the ravers.
Yeah,
Oh, and Mike. Yeah. Anyway, so but if you got that sort of day and nighttime there, you sleep and you're awake. There's duality there that you have to rest before you're awake. I love this. It's so interesting to look at
both.
it.
See how both is important, though. We can't have the day without the night, or the night without the day, without the sun and the moon. So without the land and the water, nothing can kind of exist singly or separate from the rest of the connections of like life elements, universe, people, nature. When you really look at things in their basic elemental uh, spaces, nothing is singular, nothing is all of its own and can survive separate from the other forces and natures of life.
Very
So
true. Yes.
that's why duality in a hard line on judgment can kind of cut off the greater experience of the reality as a whole.
Wow. Okay, I think we need to do more than one show here. This is so interesting. Val says she might agree with that, Phil, about all day and all night. And Delia, even from the other side of the world, says guilty.
Yeah.
I think that's just two of about,
We should
or
have a boogie for them. Let's have a boogie, Phil.
but we're having a boogie. Oh, there we go. A boogie all night, one boogie dance. Good. Okay, so good morning, everybody. Good evening, everybody. We're coming up to about 20 minutes past 11 in Spain, and you guys a little bit in the night time or earlier on in the UK. I'm joined by the fabulous Irene and Bryan, and this is such an interesting show talking about duality, and we're about to step into that subject of karmic lovers. We're just about to tiptoe into there, dipped our toe in the water and carried on with duality, but I think it's karmic lovers. Who knows? I know,
Yeah.
obviously, working in this, being a medium, and working this in hypnotherapy. I understand a lot about this, but your take on this. So you've got a fascinating spiel here, understanding. It'd be lovely to hear it. So what's your take on karmic lovers? How do we find karmic lovers?
Well, actually, Phil, karmic lovers will find you. Karmic lovers are soul ties that you have experienced with soul mates.
Yep.
And generally, karmic lovers include all sorts of kind of experiences within a relationship. And
Yep.
there are signs and symptoms so that you can more easily diagnose yourself what kind of situation you're in. But karmic lovers come with intense connection, intense remembering. It's like when you meet them, you just feel like you have a whole volume of emotion for them. And if you're really paying attention, if you're getting all those little moments of space in between your thoughts, when you meet them, you'll actually feel that your heart starts beating faster. You might get a bit of a head rush, and you'll feel a bit giddy, actually. And it's just because when you first meet a karmic in this lifetime, it sets off an activation. It's an activation of a whole story, a whole meaning, a whole lesson that you have experienced before with this person.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Sandra Park says, "Yep, my husband found me, and maybe she had the same experience there." It is interesting, isn't it? Because I think that I think when two people meet, there's that reaction, isn't there? It creates a reaction. It's like two chemicals, and when they meet, they create a reaction. And I think it does activate, doesn't it? And I think it really is something that's quite strong there. Yes.
It does. It really does activate. And so there are some other things about karmic lovers. So karmic lovers are a little bit different to your twin flame category of karma. Okay, so
Okay.
that's a bit different. I separate them because the literature and the experience around it is slightly different.
Right.
Karmic lovers can come in for all sorts of reasons. Now, a karmic lover can come in because in the last life you cheated on them, and they still want to come back and get revenge on you.
Oh dear.
Now, you don't know this. You don't know this. It's just encoded in their body memory, So you meet and you have all these emotions because the number one thing you remember about past lives is who you loved and what happened. What did people, what roles did people play towards you, and what role did you play towards them?
Yes.
So a karmic lover can come in with all sorts of subconscious behaviors. Normally, the karmic lovers are quite different. They might be from different nationalities, different religions, different parts of town, or one could be quite spiritual and the other could be quite logical. So it's like the duality comes in even in the matrix of the relationships, because it causes every part of you to be challenged in who you are now.
Wow, 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 wow. That is big stuff. That is big stuff we're talking about here this morning. I love this conversation. I think it's something you just go on and on and on and on. So true and so funny, says Michael. Uh-oh. What have you been up to, Michael? Nabila says, hey. And Sandra Park says, yes, yes. So it's interesting here because you could also have the reverse role, can't you? It's like where your karmic love from the past ditched you. Did you? And then you meet them this time, and then you get your own back and ditch them.
Yep. It's actually, I love looking at the interchange of dynamics between karmics. So what you definitely will know is that there will be an equal and opposite cause and effect.
Yes.
So you say one person is immediately in love with the other. It's like they get activated and they just love this person. They can't wait to date them. They want to be in their life. The other person will probably have issues with commitment. They won't want a love relationship at all, actually. And so here you go. The karma starts already, see? So it can literally be that the equal and opposite meets you, and
Yes.
then in just walking together and you wanting this one thing and the other person wanting to run away from that thing
Yes.
is the karma, if that makes sense.
This is come back. You don't realize we're karmic lovers. I'm out of here. No.
There are good karmic lovers, of course, as well, but generally across the board, karmic lovers come to teach you. They come to test you. They come to test your ideas of love. They come to test your idea of your own self. So often, if people aren't particularly conscious or grounded in their own mind, heart, and soul connection, then they can be very confusing. They can really give people a run for their money. Sash.
Aren't we in that phone? Dear, oh dear, oh dear. I mean, this resonates so much to so many people. Everybody's going like, oops, is this me? So many people are laughing here and enjoying the conversation. I must admit, I think this is absolutely fascinating. Sandra Park says, so spot on. You're a very interesting character, Renee. I must admit, I think you're getting people to like really think about life things and what's going on out there, and it's absolutely fabulous to have you on this morning. It's absolutely brilliant. Yes. Okay. Right. There's so much we could talk about, but I know there's a lot of people here who are looking for a little bit of information and guidance on things. And it'd be great to work with you if that's okay to do some readings. We've got some 3 people already who have written in because they like a little session of reading this morning, and maybe we'll talk about things. But this is a series, I think, a little series of events we'll have on this. This is interesting, such an interesting subject, isn't it? And because it makes you think. I mean, your own inner experience. We have that outside world out there going on, and we resonate with it, but you have that inner experience. So there again, we talk about duality, and it's that resonance you have when you meet someone. And it's so interesting because you think karmic lovers, oh, that's it, I'm settled for the rest of my life, I found my dream lover, and it's not quite like that, is it?
No. Actually, one of the signs and symptoms is the intensity, say, when you meet. And the omen signs and synchronicities generally increase around karmic situations. They just increase because they're a way for the universe to communicate to you that this has meaning for you.
Elizabeth says run for the hills. Delia says it explains the turmoil.
You can run, but you cannot hide.
You run, but you can't. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I think it's so funny. But this explains it though, doesn't it? Because you can watch, you can observe, you can watch 2 people in a relationship and they bang their heads together in a relationship and everybody else thinks, why are you 2 together? But that's not for us to judge. Although we observe, we can't judge this and say you 2 shouldn't be together, because there is this karma playing out in that relationship where you get together, it's happy, and all of a sudden, bang, it's all eruption, and it's as you say, you're being tested, your inner being is being challenged and made to look at what it is you got to learn in this life. As you're saying it, I think it's absolutely fascinating.
But the ultimate goal of karma is unity. It's unity of your own matrix, your own soul, but in connection with the collective. So it's not an easy task, and that's why karma is not generally, as pleasant as what we might like to think. But karma is here as a gift. It is a gift. If we didn't have it, we would have no evolution of our, spiritual souls. It is the steps that we take in order to reach our highest potential. So really, we should thank it. We created our own stories and our own karma. So it is a big step, though, to take responsibility in some ways.
Okay, we got people who are going to take out karma already. We got Delia's going to say, I'm going to avenge him in my next life. Dear. Oh dear, dear. Hey, Delia, God knows what happened in the past life. What were you up to then, young lady? Yes. There's some questions here I'd like to ask you people what you've been up to in a past life. You've got a lot to answer for. Yes. Anyway, let's do a little bit of this and then let's go on some readings. And I think it's going to be absolutely fascinating morning. So, okay, or evening, wherever you are. Okay, we're live, dare I say, around the world. We're live in Spain, and we're also live in Australia, and wherever you guys are also coming from, the UK, we welcome to you. This is my wonderful, fabulous guest, and we could talk for hours on this subject. I love this type of philosophy and understanding here. And one of the things you said here, I know we're going to jump into readings in just a second, but one of the things you said here is, and I actually believe this, is that we are connecting, spiritual people are connecting people together. Or connects them with life, connects them with karma. and connecting with the things here. And it's so interesting, so interesting. And sometimes the message that you give someone is so valid that that those three words, or it could be something like this. When I was talking to a chap last night, and the spirit world said, I don't know what I'm going to say this to you, but the spirit wanted to give me a watch to give to you. And he sat back like this. That was quite interesting. He said, it was my dad's. It was my dad. He passed, and my his wife, his stepmom, said to him, "Would you like his watch?" But he never took it.
Oh, wow.
So he wants that. It's just little tiny things, which to me means nothing. And that's sometimes interesting, the influence that we have on people in day-to-day lives. How we resonate, how we understand things. Okay, right. Let's go and find Sandra Park. I know you're there because you're out there. Now, guys, guys, as we do readings, we would like to say that if you're coming for online readings, if you are there, that is great, and we're doing the readings there. If you book a reading and then you're not there, then we have to move on to someone else, because otherwise we're reading for an empty space. So we like the connection there to know that you're there, guys. So good. So just say it, because some people go, I'm just off to work now, I'll see it later. Well, that doesn't help us, because we need you there. So I hope you understand that. Anyway, good. Right, okay, let's have a look here. So Sandra Park, she comes in with a colour gold. She's a lovely Pisces. And now this is a fabulous question. I love this question. She says, have either of you had a client who regressed to a life on a different planet or solar system?
Ooh, I reckon you take this one first, because you've done hypnotherapy. So...
Well, this is so interesting. Because any conversation you have with about this, say 5-10 years ago, people would say here, no, this is, I can't accept this type of subject. I think it's too movie-like. You've created something with special effects. You've gone into Hollywood and created a planet system, a bit like Star Wars. But actually here, it's interesting, isn't it? Because we're now finding on life on other planets. We're now finding that there is solar systems out there to support life, and that they've got life already in some way. And now we're talking about the Pleiadians. We're talking about the different generations and the different beings that there are. So have I taken back someone to a different place? I would see this as a space in between lives which have actually spoken to people in the spirit world. So they've passed over from a previous life. Before they've come down to this life, is communicating with the soul in the spirit world, in the soul group. Now that's an interesting subject, because then anything can happen. Anything, any subject you want to discuss is free and open to discuss about. And if there is, I would say here, it would be a solar system. I wouldn't call it a solar system. Is it a different planet? I don't know if it's a planet. Wherever it is, it's somewhere else. But they're actually, spirits do talk about, we go off to a different plane. We go off to a different place, not on Earth. And they tell me how they experience creating things, like they're creating or they're making things, even if it's atoms or energy. They're actually telling me about creating energy and matter. And that becomes so fascinating that I think that itself and its subject is so that there is something there. But where it is, if you say here, looking at the cosmos out there, direction is from, I don't know, but I am very aware that spirit in the soul has a mighty purpose it can do outside of its physical form, and a physical body actually restricts this quite a lot. So my answer to this is yes, there is. I have experienced working with clients who have connected, going to a completely different dimension from an earth dimension. Yes. That's interesting story. Yes. Okay. And yes, and it's almost very playful. It's like childlike the way they express it. It's they're going off to go and do things to create them and just have a fun time. It's not like do phone home. It's not quite, no, it's not like that. It's not like that. It's very much about experience something. So there's a lot in our lives that we can experience when we pass over this one and we go into our soul groups and we go into the spirit world, that we can connect. Yes, so that's the answer to that. Hopefully that answers your question. In the meantime, here, what would you like to say? Oh, sorry, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, so once when I had a walk through the Akashic records, so if people
Right.
don't know what the Akashic records are, it's like a library of all your lifetimes. It's like the place where they store all the information of you. And if you're lucky enough, every now and then, if you do enough good work, then you're blessed with a walk through the Akashic records. And in the Akashic records, I can honestly say that a lot of us have been, souls have been evolving for eons. Okay, so it's not millions or billions; it's eons. It's since the beginning of time. Now, the Earth right now is habitable, but what was it, 8 billion years ago? It wasn't. So there was other planets that were inhabitable, and so souls have kind of been incarnating all over the galaxy, all over different times and space realities. However, they all planets where like humans incarnate have a kind of similarity to the matrix and mechanisms, like
Oh,
the
wow.
conditions of physical manifestation and then the non-physical manifestation seem to be very similar across these kind of evolutions. And I certainly have seen myself some people who come from more lizard orientated evolutions.
Yep.
And some people come from the Pleiades. Some people, like, I've met people who are very certain that they come from Sirius,
Yep.
the dog star. So it's like opening your mind, which as soon as you open your mind and you contemplate what might be possible, it does help to understand some of the things that otherwise you can't fit in a too closed mind.
Now, this is so interesting because this is a type of conversation I think that consciousness is going to evolve in more easier than what it did, say, 10, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. I mean, when I started to get into this, I tried to talk to my mum and dad about getting into the sort of subject. It was like, no, you can't. It's like, where you're going, you're going down a dark hole. Well, that's their view of it. That's people's view of it. But this type of conversation, I think this is fantastic. Fantastic. So I like your perception there. I think it's brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant. And we got Michael says he's loving this conversation. And Sandra says, yay. Sandra Park says, Irene, thank you for explaining this. Totally agree with you. So brilliant. Okay, so Irene's view is very much about what's going on out there and how we work it. Good. Okay, let's go and have a little pop down the road, or pop up the road, should I say here. Let's go and have a look at Val. Val writes in and she says here she's number 8 in numerology, and she says, what does my spiritual path look like, please? Now, if you would like to take this one and go for the top, and let's see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. So, Sandra, I picked a card for you earlier just to.
Who's that for? Did you say Sandra or did you say Val?
Oh, sorry. Are we doing Val or Sandra?
No, sorry. Let's go back to Sandra a minute. Yes, let's go back there. I was going to get her. She says I'm here, so yeah, just pick her back up there. Yes. What card was that?
Oh, so for Sandra, I got the Hierophant for you. So I felt that actually you're quite here to be quite a teacher to people, to be a bit of a guide, and probably you're very committed to your values and your beliefs, and so you're an example for people in that way. And with the color gold, and your question about other star systems, I definitely do think that you might be, a little bit of a rainbow child yourself. So.
Oh, how nice! How nice to be called a rainbow child. That is absolutely lovely. Brilliant. Thank you very much. There you go. I think that's Sandra. You need one of those. How's that? Right. Good. Yeah. Brilliant. Let's go and pop down the road and go and say hello to Val. Good morning, Val. So, as I said here, she's number 8 in numerology. What does my spiritual path look like, please? And it's interesting because in your birthday you got a 22 and an 11. I mean, wow, what numbers they are already just by your day and month.
Yeah, very powerful numbers. actually.
Yes, they certainly are. Certainly are. Sandra Park says, she says, Irene, thank you. Yes, that's true. That's fabulous there. Great.
Oh,
And this
great.
show is opening up Cheryl's mind. That's lovely. There's a lot goes on inside Cheryl's
Woo!
mind, and you look in there. I think it's interesting. Val says fascinating. So this is good. What a lovely morning. Okay, right. Okay, so what would you like to say to Val?
Okay, so for Val, with the color blue and with your birthday, so we worked out that you were a life path 8. So life path 8s are very, they're leaders, they're hardworking, they're very motivated to keep on track and create a kind of a material stability as well. So, but with you, I pulled some cards for you, Val, and your question was, what does my spiritual path look like? So what I got was that actually you're about to go on a new, you're about to have a new kind of direction in this. I feel like you've kept your spiritual thoughts and your maybe kind of more philosophical experiences to yourself, and that's because life path 8 people are quite protective, or quite they're not willy-nilly just going to walk around and trust anyone with their head in the clouds. Life path 8, they're not like that. You're much more practically minded and able to work in logical systems. So because of that, your spiritual path possibly has been put into a little box inside yourself that you only pull out when you feel safe to do so. And so even you writing this question on this show, I feel, is a part of this new direction in you, where you're allowing yourself to explore it more. Now, the thing with life path 8 is that it's not easy for you to learn through other sources. For life path 8, it's kind of you've got to decide things within yourself, and you might listen to other people, but ultimately you decide very much what it is and what you're going to do. But because of the way that society and everything is built around this spiritual phenomenon, I kind of see that that there's going to be a definite, like a change, something that is very life-giving in this process for you, that maybe might give you hope that you can balance both sides, that you can be a leader and kind of seen as a normal, healthy, functioning person, and still have this part of you which is about to grow, which is about to make your life a little bit sweeter in touching it.
I'm laughing my head off here. I'm absolutely laughing because I know Val. I know Val quite well. And so
Oh,
well, actually, I
really?
know her very, very well. Not quite well, very, very well. And I'm laughing my head off here because this is so true what you're saying. So true. I think that you hit the nail on the head. And I know that Elizabeth Milton, she said here, yes, hit the nail on the head. Think outside the box and take it outside of the mind. What a great way of describing this. And actually, I would relate that to Val as much as Elizabeth was relating it to a conversation earlier. And yes, absolutely fantastic. I think this is fascinating.
And
Val,
I
that
just
should get
wanted
you
to say, yeah.
thinking, my young lady. That should get you thinking about where you're going and what
I
you're
was
doing.
going to say, with the color blue, if we were to subscribe it to our chakras, it's a lot about your throat. So speaking, right? Speaking it, actually bringing it into your realm through your own communication. So I think that is maybe something that is going to be part of this new beautiful change for you in your spiritual path.
Well,
Thank you.
isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? I must admit, I'm just absolutely laughing my head off because this is always been on the edge, exactly, on the fence, should I say, here, where Val's concerned. Do I go that way or should I go this way? It's almost like the security blanket
And
with.
you can tell her, but she won't listen, right? So
Oh, yeah. Hey, I like that. I think I think we need a bit of that. So we need a bit of that. I think, yeah. But actually, she just got over laryngitis as well. There's
Oh, okay.
interesting.
Yes, wonderful.
Isn't that interesting too about laryngitis, about what we're holding on to, what we're blocking communication wise?
Yeah,
You had the Emperor there. You had the Emperor. Lovely, lovely card. Say here, spirituality. Where your pathway is going, it's fantastic. And but you're looking at the money, but you're also looking at holding on to career. But you've got thoughts in your mind. Thoughts in your mind, young lady. It is fabulous. I love that. It was hilarious. That's wonderful. Thank you. That's made my day. Thank you, Renee. That's lovely. And
much love.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And cheers to you guys out there. Nice coffee. Bye.
Yeah. Right. Cheers.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. I think perhaps you need, in fact, if you just put your coffee there near the computer, near the screen. Would you like to put your coffee near the screen?
Yeah.
And we're just gonna top that up for you. See? Isn't that nice? Just top it up for you. There you go. You got to top it up there. Amazing. The kettle gets everywhere. Anyway. Right. Okay. So let's go and have a look here at Deborah. Deborah is a life path 10-1. And she's asking here about what she'd like. Yeah, she's lucky here. Lots of love too. Thank you, Phil. You're all welcome. And brilliant. What a fabulous morning. Everybody's generating this morning. Now, interesting, just before we come back to Deborah, I just want to go back to a point that Michael made. And I think this is interesting here. When I was saying here about talking to my folks, when I'm getting into this subject, and they were like, no, this is like a black hole. What are you getting into? It's like you're going down, you'll end up speaking to the devil and all sorts. Well,
yeah.
Whatever. He said this is generation gap is an energy gap. I think that's a great point to make. Oh, what a lovely, lovely comment there. So, Michael, I think that's a good one there, and I think yes, we give a little round of applause for that. Yeah, good one. Okay, Deborah, life path 10-1. Would you like to start on this? And she just I haven't got a question as such. No, just gone for the colour orange. She's gone for the colour orange. She just wants to know what's going on.
Okay. All right. Okay, so straight off the bat, I haven't pulled a card yet, but straight off the bat, I get a feeling of roots. Maybe because orange is one of the most grounded kind of earthy colors, and that's often why monks wear orange, actually, because it is one of the most grounding colors. So, but straight off the bat, like I've got roots for you, Deborah. Something like your family tree. Something maybe in your family might be coming to the surface that's to do with the roots. Now you're a 10-1, right? So that means you're quite dynamic. Okay, you kind of align with Aries energy. So possibly you're not a placater in your family line, in your family dynamic. You probably be more of a trailblazer is the word.
Trailblazer, fantastic. I love it.
Trailblazer. But I just get a feeling with you about deep roots, maybe something that you haven't touched for a while in your own family history, your ancestry, may come up to the surface because you are connecting in and becoming a lot, like, I just get the sense that you're really kind of what's the word, embodying this grounded, rooted energy, which means that you can actually, you're stimulating whatever resistance might be there, not only in your life, but in your family line, to be healed, to come up and be healed. So don't be surprised if in the next 3 to 6 months, something that you are unaware of, but you can easily ground within yourself might come from your own family line. And because you're a trailblazer, the odds that people might throw a bit of mud at you is not uncommon, because as you zoom past on your trail, people are standing there, and they've got nothing better to do, and sometimes they just kind of throw mud and see what sticks. And I just feel like you're at a point in your life where your roots are so strong, and where you are aligning so much that you will start to heal your actual ancestral family line as much as your own self.
Wow. That's a lovely description there, and I think that your energy there that you're looking into this is fantastic. Wow, very interesting. So I think that's going to be quite a big thing for her, and I think that she would like that. I think orange is it. I love the color orange. I always find it, although it's earthy, always find it very motivational. It's always an energy that I pick up being something that creates action. It's
Creative, isn't it?
yes,
Yes.
it's always something out there that's going to react. It's going to, hey, let's do this. The only thing is it needs a direction. It's a bit like, we're so enthusiastic, let's go, but someone's going, where? Anywhere. Let's go anywhere.
Yeah, and it can be quite a bright color for some people who are more in the darker tones.
Yes.
So orange is a color that definitely stands out and invigorates and vibrates at quite a joyful level.
Yeah.
So your color orange, Deborah, is a beautiful way that you are presenting yourself to the world, I believe.
Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, right. We're also going to do a prize draw today, guys. Prize draw. Please comment
Ooh.
on your reading. So you guys have had a comment on your reading there. You're reading in the Cafe Clairvoyance group. So as you can see just over there, you'll see there in the orange and purple, it says join Cafe Clairvoyance group. Please join that and comment on the page there about the reading that you received today, or anything about the show perhaps. That would be great. And then we'll put you into a draw for a private reading. How's that? How's that go? Is that nice?
Ooh, that sounds wonderful. Where do I sign?
You're in it already. Okay, Elizabeth says wonderful, Phil and Irene, that's lovely. And Sherry says, "Oh, good morning. We've got lots of people coming in this morning, and be able to come in." So, okay, good. Lisa, she's coming in. She says, "I'm on life path 6. Can you tell me anything, please?" Okay, Lisa. Let's have a little look here. She's just come in on the show. Wants to do that,
Yeah.
and right, okay.
So,
Now I'm just gonna just tune in here a little bit, Lisa. It's interesting straight away here because I have a gentleman that draws in from the spirit world, and it's very interesting. I'm finding everything is changing at the moment, because I used to have this philosophy that spirit guides are that side, and that anything that travels by me this side are relatives of people that I'm reading for. And then all of a sudden it's changed. And now they're all coming this side saying, guys, I didn't ask this, you just brought this through. So now I'm talking to this gentleman here who's connecting with you, Lisa. And he's a very happy man. In fact, I've got Jay like John. John had wanted to communicate with you, and he's just coming through, and he wants to say to me here, he had a very deep laugh, a deep voice, but he had a problem down here in his chest because he's just coughing, but the problem was down here. But he used to like laughing and talking with people, and but he hid himself away quite a lot to where when he had his health was low, he didn't want to really see. He didn't want really people to see him like this, but that saddens him a little bit because he was a very social man. And but his energy as he comes across here, he says here, don't worry about mum. I believe don't worry about mum, because he says everything's all right. Everything's all right. That's his message to you, is do not worry about your mum. Okay, now would you like to say anything there? Would you like to say anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Lisa. Thanks for joining the show and asking a question. So I just put some cards on you.
Okay.
And I definitely get the feeling that you've been very concerned about family and people in your family. And it looks like you've had a bit of a rough time, actually, possibly with maybe some family members not being completely honest or upfront with you, and possibly you felt maybe a bit left out or stuck in some kind of situation here, and you've had a period where you've had to kind of sit and you know, it's like being in a position where you've got to work to change your perspective sometimes, so that you can, you know, get things flowing again on a certain, for certain situations or certain you know, even mental thoughts. And I mean, there's a lot of players around you, kind of thing, in your life that you love a lot, and some of them might not necessarily be giving 100% back to you as what you give them.
Okay.
And so I'm just feeling that you do need to take a little bit of care for yourself as well. So if it is your mother that you're concerned about, just remember that it's important that you stay healthy and positive and balanced as much as you can, so that you can be there for your mother if she needs. And understand that even when people, not saying that this, but when people pass, they don't actually pass away. They're still very much you know, present, and they often look over us, and sometimes you can have a better connection with people you know, on the other side. So it's like you know, getting your mind to trigger out of panic or extreme anxiety, because it doesn't serve you. And you're such a beautiful person. I can see here that you have so much to offer, and you do a lot for people, and you deserve to be kind and good to yourself in return, so that it doesn't get too much. The stress and the circumstances don't overwhelm you. Does that resonate at all, Lisa?
Do you know what? I think that was absolutely fabulous. That was absolutely fabulous, and I think that was beautiful. Michael just jumps in and says, "That's what I'm hoping with my parents." Yes, is interesting here, isn't it? But just come back to Lisa there. Lisa, I think that was so interesting, and I think that if you're Renee, I thought that was a beautiful way of interpreting that energy there, and that sixth energy as well. It is very much about family and trying to keep everybody together. It's like herding cats at times, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes that
Yes.
feeling, I think, oh God, it's not easy. And I think sometimes you've got to have a sense of humour and to be as positive as you can like that. And I think that engages things. And so she says, "Oh, thank you. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect." There you go.
Remember how special you are in the scheme of things. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's part of the blessing, I think, isn't it? Is to remember how important you are. I think for anybody who's watched this morning, anybody out there, that when you were born, you are here to create an impression. You are here to do something, to change, to bring energy into life, meet people, affect people, and create something amazing. So never, ever, ever put yourself down. Never, never, ever.
Yes, and lots of people rely on you because you're dependable. So you know, we need more people like you. Don't worry.
Oh, this is lovely. You got Sherry here says, "We are all here to support you, Lisa." Yay, that's lovely. We got a bit of that there. So I think that's lovely. Brilliant. What a way to okay, well, this hour has just absolutely flown by, and I must admit, it's been one of the most fascinating, engaging, out there shows I think I've experienced in quite a while. And I think, guys, what do you think? Do you think we need to get Irene on again?
Yeah.
Good? Yes. Because this subject matter is so fascinating, and it's great to be able to talk on a world stage like this. It sounds a bit big-headed to say that, but it's not at all. It's be able to talk about something and bring in what I think future consciousness is going to be evolving into, this experience here of like where we come from, where we're going to. Do have Irene back? Yes. We got this is flown by. My first live show I've watched, says Michael, and says you definitely said yes. Is Michael? Everybody's saying yes, so I think that's it. That's what he said. Sign till divot. So
cover. We have a
Yeah,
lot more.
we have. It's ongoing conversation forever. And it's great to talk about this. And it's interesting actually, because people used to think, we used to talk about these subjects about different planetary positions and different, we've evolved from different parts of the galaxies. And people think you're just too out there. This has been, you're smoking money stuff. But actually, it's not. It's not. It's really looking.
When you look at our ancient civilizations, I mean, just look at the Sumerians. I mean, the Sumerians are an ancient civilization who left a clay library about their daily lives being slaves of an alien race.
Yes.
Now, it's very logical to then ask, why would a whole race of slaves spend so much time documenting daily activities if it was just made up for them? It just does not make any reasonable or logical sense. So therefore, if we look at history and we look at a whole wide range of knowledge, then logically we cannot just discount these things because the mainstream is not willing to be open to connecting all the dots.
No, I think that's fascinating. We've got there you go. There's another subject matter, nerds. Where we come from, or what we're here to go and do. So let's look at soul's purpose. Maybe another time here, and where we're going. I think it's fabulous. Tonight, I'm joined by spiritual farmer Andy Dominic. He has a spiritual approach to farming, and how he works to grow the most fantastic vegetables and fruits that you've ever tasted in Spain. Absolutely amazing. But I'd just like to say here, Irene, it's been absolutely fabulous having you on a show today. We're going to do this again. Guys out there, just keep an eye on Cafe Clairvoyance. You can watch this on YouTube or Facebook. You can also go to the Cafe Clairvoyance website, cafeclairvoyance.com, and you'll see a box there that just says whichever channel you want to watch this on when the show's live. So you don't even have to go looking on Facebook. You just go straight there. And a big thank you to the producer Deborah for producing the show. A big thank you to Irene for being on here. The sunlight's so strong, my green screen is going a bit wonky in the background here. So I'm able to move around and block out the light there, but never mind. Yes, and we'll get you back on. The show tonight, guys, is 8 p.m. Spain time, whatever time that is, wherever you are. UK, it's going to be 7. And I think for you guys out in Australia, it's probably going to be about 6 in the morning, unfortunately. But yes, it's going to be recorded anyway, so you can watch it. But if you want to know about spiritual farming, you want to know about how to grow your vegetables and how to do things just right, this is interesting. And I'm not a gardener, but this guy is just so interesting, intrigues me. But Irene.
Do you know what? I just too really quickly. I heard that if you're doing your own vegetables, that somehow the vegetables seem to create the nutrients that you need the most. So as you tend plants, they tend you. That is an amazing phenomenon.
I think that's true there, and I think as well, even when you buy flowers there, those flowers, they resonate with you, and when you come down in the morning you see the lovely colours of them. I think that's just amazing, just amazing. So Irene, what can I say? It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. We're going to get you on very, very soon, and this has been just amazing. So thank you so much. Don't forget, guys, engage with the group, respond to what you thought the show, respond what you thought the reading this morning, especially your readings, and then we'll put you in a draw. You're going to get a free reading. Okay, right. In the meantime, though, guys, see you very soon.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Phil.
Just stay there, though. Just stay there.
Okay. Will do.